Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. This is the video series, The Real Ingalls Family. And today I'm joined by two of my beautiful sisters, Margo and Candy. But before that, I want to introduce myself. I'm Arlie Ingalls, and I'm the author of a new book, Ingalls on the Prairie, the Jean and Fern Ingalls story. It's the story of our parents, their early years. So it includes their childhood, how they met, their wedding, and then bringing 8 kids into the world and all the things that they went through in the early years of their marriage. And it ends about the time the older kids started leaving home, so around 1972. But the things that, or many national events that took place during that time period actually had an impact on our family. So I talk about how those actually impacted our family. And with us, that means it impacted a lot of American families. So new book, Ingalls on the Prairie, available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and now it's available in multiple languages as well. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about, in one of my posts last week, actually it was a post on the Little House on the Prairie feeds, they were talking about how family was so important in the television series. So I responded, yes, in fact, that is a trait of the Ingalls family in general. Our family is very close. Family means everything to us. And when I signed my book, that's exactly how I signed it. Family is everything. And then of course I signed it. So with that being said, as I said, I have two of my beautiful sisters, Margo and Candy, with us, and I will let them introduce themselves.
Okay, I'll start. I'm older. I'm Margo. I am the 5th from the top in 8 of us. I'm 5th from the top and 4th from the bottom. I don't know how that works, but so yeah, I'm right in the middle. I'm a middle child of eight of us.
And I'm Candy. I'm the youngest of the 8. And I'm not the spoiled one, no matter what people say.
Okay.
No
comment. She's
Margo,
a baby.
I try not to say it directly to your face, but
True.
Yeah, so today we're going to talk a little bit about our life on the farm. And so our family is large, but we're fairly close in age. But even with that being the case, us older kids didn't get to spend as much time with the younger kids when we were kids and living at home as we do today as adults. So our experiences are a little bit different and separated by time once we left. But we were a big horse family. We had a lot of horses. And one of the things that we liked to do was attend horse shows.
True. Yes, horse shows. Horses were a big part of our growing up in Waconia. Mom and Dad both enjoyed horses when they were younger, and so they kind of carried that over and shared that enjoyment with us. My father, who was part of the mounted posse in Waconia, Carver County Mounted Posse. So he, obviously had a horse for his duties there. But in addition, we had several horses, and there were some Waconia, a lot of folks in Waconia had horses and enjoyed that whole experience. And going to those horse shows was something we did every summer, several times in the summer. Brother Lee rode in the horse shows. Brother Bradley, Monty, Kurt, all of them enjoyed the horse shows. And we always tease Candy a little bit because for all of those horse shows, there of course are ribbons given out, first place, second, whatever. And Candy a lot of times ended up being that ribbon girl in the middle of the arena, giving out those ribbons to all the cowboys and cowgirls. So I'll let Candy share a little bit of her experience with that.
Yes, I remember that so well. I was so honored to give out ribbons and so proud that so many of them were given to my brothers that it just made me happy in my heart that, coming from the cities, being city slickers, to acclimating to the horses and farm life, and they were so good at it. It was like it was natural for them right from the get-go. And I was just so proud to be that little insignificant part, but so proud of them.
Huge
Yeah, the horse
part.
shows were fun. And yeah, Candy was like the tiny, tiny little thing out in the middle of this field with all these giant horses running around her, getting her ribbon. So yeah, it was very nice to see that. But yeah, I'm not sure why she wasn't terrified.
Yes, I
Hey,
know.
but I was surrounded by my brothers. They weren't going to let anything happen to me.
Well, that's true.
That is true.
That part.
That is true. I remember seeing images and photos of Candy after the horse shows. We'd come home and she would literally be layered with dust
Oh, yeah.
and dirt from the horse arena. She'd smile and open her eyes, and that's all you could see sometimes. She was just would be covered with that, but she loved it. She loved it, and took a lot of, just could see the love that flowed out of her watching her brothers, and we were all there. I mean, we were all there. I worked a couple of times, and they'd have the little snack shack right there, so that you get chips and pop, and so we were all there and a part of it. But yeah, a lot of great memories. Dad, at the beginning of the horse shows, the the mounted posse would come in on their horses, a couple of them having flags, and it was just a great family experience. And yes, much different than what we had in the cities. It was just, but we kind of acclimated and got right in there, especially with that part. And I suppose part of it is because Mom and Dad loved horses, and that was part of their childhood experience too.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
uniform was a handsome man. So many of my classmates would say, what a cool dad in his uniform and his hat on top of a big horse. And yeah, he was very handsome.
Yeah, he rode Thunder, which was a quarter horse, but it was the red body, tail, and mane. It was a beautiful horse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And he would participate in the parades. I mean,
Yeah.
he was, when I look back and see the photos, and he did an amazing job with all of that. In fact, I think the mounted posse did some security. I don't want to say security, but some at the Carby County Fair, where they would just trot around on their horses and kind of keep things in order and keep things in check. And Dad was part of that too. So
Yep.
Yep. Mhm.
True. Well, not wanting to move away from that, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about for many years, all the girls, the four sisters and Mom, well, initially it was just the four of you and Mom, and eventually included some of the nieces, would go on girl weekend trips up to Duluth.
yes.
One of
Yeah.
my favorite, well, maybe not favorite, but a memory that I'll never forget was going up to Duluth. We always went in September, and it was after the September tragedy with the airplanes and 9/11. And we stood on the bridge overlooking the highway. And that night, everybody was supposed to light a candle. So Mom and all of us girls stood there with our candles, and we were trying to sing patriotic songs, and we were pathetic, but it was the attempt that mattered. And we got honks, people waving and flashing their lights, and it was just one of the many, I don't know, things that make our family great, and that we want to step up when tragedy occurs and do our part, and recognizing being part of the, I don't know, recovery.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and in fact, that year, and I want to say it was 2001, but that year we all reached out to each other and thought, well, should we go to Duluth? I mean, maybe we shouldn't go this year. Maybe September 11th was just so, everyone knows. So we really questioned whether or not we should even go. Maybe we should stay close. No, we have to go. So we did. We went, and I do recall that the nation, there was a moment, and it was that 9/11 timing of the first impacts where everyone was supposed to pull over in their car, pull over, stop whatever they're doing. And we were going to do this national moment of silence. And I'm telling you, we were on a bridge over a major highway, freeway in Duluth. People did it. They did it. They literally pulled their cars over. Traffic stopped, and there was that moment of silence. Yeah, I agree, Candy. That was a very memorable time, and the fact that we tried to sing national anthems and all those things, but we could remember the most common parts of it. But then we look at each other like, I don't remember those words, but we'll hum it along until we got to another part that we remembered. And Mom, I'm telling you, Mom was just one of the girls. And she, no matter what we did and potentially how embarrassing it could have been, she went right along with us and enjoyed it. And yeah, a lot of great memories. So I'll just start out. Our first girls get-togethers were not in Duluth. Our very, very first ones were, we traveled. Mom wanted to go down to the metro area and get on
Right.
she wanted, yeah, do you remember that?
Yes.
And I remember that we went to like a convention center for a garden show. And I mean, we just did some fun things around the metro area. And we did that for a couple of years before we decided, hey, let's go to Duluth, which we did. So we, as with our mother and the four of us, long time, many years, did that trip. And then with Faith, my daughter, and Ashley, Candy, your daughter, we when they got old enough, then they joined us, and just got better and better.
Yeah, for too short of a time until Mom couldn't go anymore. But I remember the first couple of years staying at the hotel in Duluth. We didn't know there was a museum that had a map of when the ships would come in. So we would be watching, oh, there's a ship up there, it's on its way. And when it got close enough, what we thought close enough, all of us would barrel out, Mom included, barrel out the back door of the hotel and sprint it down to get there in time to wave to the ships coming through. And over the years, it just made us giggle because we can't do that anymore. We got the agenda and walked.
Oh my gosh, that is so true, Candy. When we first started going, including Mother, because we stayed right on the canal. So we stayed in a hotel right on the canal. So if we saw a ship coming in, we go out the door, jump on the walkboard thing, run down to the lift bridge and watch the ships come in. We literally could make it. We ran, we hooked it, and we could make it. I would say by, I don't know, 5-6 years, pretty soon. Yes, we started to get the agenda, the printout of when they were coming, but we went all the way together until there was a time when we pushed our mother in the wheelchair because she couldn't run anymore and she couldn't. And so but we still did it. We did it, and we would push her. Come on, Mom, pick your feet, because we're going for it.
Well, Margo, that reminded me of a memory of you thought you were fast as that Olympic runner. Your arms were going, and your legs not so much, but you thought you were just like him.
Yes. for whatever reason in my mind, I thought I just don't know what it is. It's
Well.
my mind is super strong, but not so much the body, but the mind. So I'm like hoofing it. My
Mm.
arms, I mean, I'm like in the wind going. My feet were like lead rocks. And so basically I did a face plant and
remember that.
stunned everything up pretty good. But
Yeah, it was fun.
yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Darn, where's the video when you need it?
Oh my gosh, no kidding. Oh
I'm
man,
telling you, we had so much fun. I mean, one
story.
Sister Barbara, she brought so much joy, so much joy. We each had our own little, whatever you want to call them, but
Quirks.
collectively and all together, it just, we laughed until we cried, until our stomachs hurt, and we'd all have to take a break. I got to take a nap and we'll come back to it. And one time Barbara and I just were having a conversation about the coloring of the wall in the hotel room, and I'm seeing blue and she's seeing green. I'm like, no, but but I know that sounds silly, but we laughed so hard and we just could not get over how she could see one thing and I'm looking at the same thing and I see something totally different. But
It was hysterical, and that was what was so much fun about the five of us, is that we saw things as funny that probably not everybody would, but to us, really funny.
hysterical.
Yeah. It was many years of good times. It was heartbreaking when Mom couldn't go, and we thought as sisters we could keep it going, and it would be nice to pick it back up again, but life just happened and we haven't done it yet, but it'd be nice to pick it up.
Yeah, or do something else. A group of friends that we have here, we went to Cancun for like 5 years in a row. And then we stopped doing that, but then we started going on a cruise and we went and did that for like 10 years in a row. And we stopped doing that and we went to Pensacola for one of their events. So no, I think those are really what makes up, that's why you work and you do all the things that you have to do, so that when you are able to separate and enjoy yourself, you're actually able to create memories like that. That's wonderful. Yeah, you should get together and decide, if not that, then what?
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing too is, we can think about our taking a trip as a family, like one of the years as a family reunion, and traditions don't have to stay the same, just make new ones.
Yep, that's true. As long as it happens, it doesn't matter when, where, or how, or any of that stuff. As long as it happens, I think we're all good with that.
Yeah. 100%. Last year, when the family get together it just wasn't going to happen. We as a family made a decision, then let's do FaceTime. Let's do whatever we have to do. And how many, and Lee, you kind of started Zoom, but there were times when we would do FaceTime and there'd be nieces, nephews, grandkids, great grandkids for Mom on those calls. So that commitment is there no matter, I guess, what's going on. It's how do we make it happen and how do we keep it going?
Right.
Especially during this time.
Yeah, and it's important to enough of us that we'll coordinate it and get it done. And then just people join as they can. Which is the nice thing about us, is we really don't have any expectations of each other. We make it available and everybody is glad to participate in whatever it is. So that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So, and what else did we decide that we were going to talk about?
Well, we didn't talking about this, but Mom and Dad still have their property in Reamer. We have their property, and mom in Reamer. And that that place had so much fun. I remember family gatherings there, playing tug of war with Marcus and Ross being in the lead and all the little cousins behind them, thinking they were, big and strong, and I mean, just so much fun. And I would really like to bring life back to that property again, if that ever can be a thing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I would absolutely love to see that. The one thing that I've been doing, you all know that. I hope everybody that sees this knows it as well. We have this huge collection of photos that go back to the 1800s. So I've been going through them and posting them in different media for the last several months, and I'll continue to do that. I've only cracked the surface of it. I haven't nearly posted what should be there or organized it in such a way that you can go and like mom and dad's, I have their 40th wedding anniversary celebration, their 50th, their 60th. So I have all of those, their retirement parties. I'm going to organize those so that if you want to see what happened at those events, you can go and look just at that. But that being said, one of the things that I ran across was a packet of photos from when mom and dad still had the trailer up there. That was before they even did the add-on to the trailer, because for people that don't know, what mom and dad bought 40 acres and a lake lot in northern Minnesota. So they put a trailer initially on the 40-acre section, and that's what they vacationed. Every weekend they went up there. They eventually put they built a basement and then put a permanent structure and attached it to the trailer. Eventually, they moved the trailer out, expanded the basement, and built a house on the lot itself. So yeah, no, I mean, I have all those photos that I yet have to organize and put in some place where people can see kind of the progression of the property up there. But I would love to see that happen, us able to use it more.
Yeah, me too.
I agree. It's a lot of memories. Just walking in, well, just driving up, not even walking in, but just driving up to the shed and the house, and you just almost can see dad sitting out there at the picnic table, and mom, sweeping that entryway, and just, yeah. And we did have some great times up there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we did. And we will again. I mean, there's enough of us that are wanting to see that happen. I'm sure that it actually will happen.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Yeah.
True. What else did you want to talk about? We're going to talk about Margo on the bus when she was a kid, taking out all the bullying.
Oh, yes. Well, it goes back to, as kids, we fought a lot, like, most kids do in their families. But when it comes to anybody picking on any other member of our family, that's not going to be allowed. And so I remember riding the school bus with Margo, and I think I was maybe 5th grade. I don't know what, but somebody said something about, was it me or Monty? Anyway,
Monty.
Margo grabbed a metal lunch box, and just beat that kid. I mean, it was just so shocking, but it was so cool. It was like, oh, don't mess with Margo or any of her siblings.
Well,
yeah. So just for clarity and for everybody else, so there's Margo, and then just older than Margo is Kurt, and then just older than Kurt is Brad, and just older than Brad is me. So Margo followed 3 boys, and she was just one of the boys. She had to be tough to hang with us. So
yeah.
And I wanted to be. I mean, I wanted that. That's what I thought I had to keep up with the boys. If I could beat up Kurt's friends, or if I could beat them in arm wrestling, then I'm cool. So,
yes.
Yeah, that was a thing for me for a long time, unfortunately.
Great. Got the toughest sister around.
I will say that I also ended up with a black eye from that experience on the bus. So I may have gotten, what you remember the best, but he got me. He got me.
Well, it's a good thing that your brothers were there. We'd have thrown him off the bus without stopping it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
very true.
Yeah, let's not walk him to the door. Let's toss him out the window.
You know, I wish, and I know some at some point Kurt will be on but I'm telling you, I hope I get to be a part of it when he can join, but he has some of the best experiences that, and maybe it's, for me, it's because Kurt and I are very close, and we have been close always. And so I can't wait for the time that he can be on and do some reminiscing and some sharing of his experiences, because he is a living, walking, not only miracle, but his life experiences are incredible. So I hope I get to be a part of that one.
Yeah, and he's very entertaining when he talks about it too. So, not only is it a fun story in general, but to hear him tell it just adds another layer of comical to it. And him and Monty too. If I tried to tell the stories about Monty, it would sound like I was a mean brother and really being mean to him, but that wasn't the case. So
yes, it was. That was the case. Say, what do you mean that wasn't the case?
No,
That was the case.
done Monty a little bit.
We played hard, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
Well,
we were each other's entertainment at times.
Yeah.
Well, I feel bad for the young ones because that's truly the case. They were our living toys. Nobody broke any bones or came away with any permanent scars, so it was all good. But we played hard.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. And what they say, no pain, no gain.
That's right.
Just kidding.
We're all still here.
My motto, my life motto, no pain, no pain.
We definitely upped the toughness factor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, 8 kids in 10 years. Feast your family. If you sit at the table, it's not like we're all waiting for each other. No, you go first. No, you go. No.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing we kind of have not talked about yet is our family picnics on the Patnode side of the house. Do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Sure.
Yeah. So we had a large family. We were 8 kids, mom and dad, 10 of us all told. Dad is one of 6. Mom really has kind of 2 parts to her family. There's the Grandpa and Grandma Clara had 4 kids, but then Grandpa married Bessie after Clara passed away, and she had 7 kids. So there were 11 kids on mom's side of the family. And of course, as a kid, you don't really understand the differences. They're all aunts and uncles. So when we would go to the family picnic on the Patnode side, there was 11 aunts and uncles, and then all of their kids, one of which had 18 kids of their own. So there were kids everywhere. And I mentioned it in the book that I pretty well knew which kid belonged to which set of parents, but we didn't see them often enough. We didn't play with them often enough. I didn't really know their names. So I'd have to be reminded of their names every single year. But those picnics originally started out in Red Wing, Minnesota, which I don't know if either one of you have memories of going to them when they were there, but that park was beautiful. It was a beautiful park. Typical Minnesota with the hills and the big oak trees and all that kind of stuff. It was very pretty. And then we moved it to Menominee, where Grandpa and Grandma actually lived.
Yep. That's actually what I recall as Menominee. And I tell you, as a kid, usually those kind of long distance car rides and with all of us wouldn't be a fun experience, but I never minded them. I looked forward to that family get together. There was a kind of a zoo there. Um,
Had the
that whole
buffaloes
side.
there.
Yeah, yeah, yep. And usually on the way we would sing. And I remember singing, and we do this round robin thing where someone would start out a song and then uh, for the lack of the one I can remember the best is I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle. And so, do you remember that, Candy? And
Yes.
so one would start it out. Yes, one would start it out, and then pretty soon we got four. And so we got four verses going at different times. And uh, I looked forward to that trip because it was a long trip, a lengthy trip back in that time.
Mhm.
And we got we got even closer, and we did things that were fun. We couldn't really fight because if I said, Dad, Sherry's touching me, I mean, that you just don't do that. You just be quiet and sing, or just be quiet. You can't have to go to the bathroom. Don't say that. And don't say, are we there yet?
No.
So you just be quiet.
I'm still kind of Pavloved into, if I'm going to take a road trip, you go to the bathroom because we're not stopping. And it's like, if I'm going to take a road trip, even now, I'm thinking, yeah, I don't have to go, but maybe I should try. But do you remember singing the show tunes from like Oklahoma?
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought we were going to be stars after we perfected that.
Yeah. Oklahoma, and even my kids, Blake, he still remembers when we would sing that around the campfire up north, and he loved that, man. He loves that memory in that time.
Mhm. Yeah.
You don't realize what you're doing, but you're creating memories.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what we're talking about, but
Yeah. So what I remember about the picnics, the family picnics in Wisconsin, was the food. Oh my gosh. I never ate what Mom brought. I wanted to try everybody else's. And there were people that made the best pies. I don't remember who they were, but I just know that you immediately ran up to get one as soon as they brought one out, get a piece, because it wasn't going to last long. So
Yeah,
get
there
all.
were several people that had really iconic dishes that they brought. I think Mom always brought the potato salad, didn't she?
I just remember putting sandwiches in a bread
yeah, I
bag.
was gonna say, I think we were the sandwich family.
Were
I
we?
think
Oh,
brought
okay.
we brought a
All
lot of sandwiches.
Okay, maybe it was just my desire now for Mom's potato salad.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Walter used to make that. I don't. Was it a lemon pie or a chess pie? And then Aunt Jean's German chocolate cake. You had to
Oh,
make a reservation for a piece of that.
yeah.
That 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 went right away every year. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody
Yeah.
made blueberry pie with the sugar on top of the crust.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. Yeah.
amazing.
And
Yeah,
all that was homemade. There was none of this, let's stop by the grocery store on the way and buy a pie. It was all that
no,
stuff. Was homemade.
it was homemade. It was homemade, and it was made from scratch. I mean, we're talking flour and sugar and salt. I mean, all of it. There was no frozen pie crust or any of that. It was made from scratch.
Yeah. Very
They
good.
don't do that anymore, but
No, it was all really good.
I've resolved myself to perfect as close as I can Mom's potato salad, because that should not go by the wayside. I think she could have marketed that and made money. It was so good.
Yeah, and I make it all the time.
You do?
Yeah, it's in the cookbook stuff that I put together how many years ago?
Yeah, it is. It is in there. And I
Yeah,
think I've made it once or twice. But Mom's, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And
yeah.
and it's
And I make
time
it all the
consuming.
time. In the South, they make potato salad where the potatoes are almost like mashed potatoes. They're not
oh,
the cubes like Mom's, like a northern potato salad. So every once in a while, I have to have mom's,
Yes.
not the mashed one down here.
Hmm.
And one thing that she did that you don't really see done that often anymore is she would peel the tomatoes.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And she
Mhm.
would kind of let some of the seeds out.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I think we
Oh,
lost Candy.
oh, Candy. Is
Oops,
that on?
I'm
Oh,
coming
There she
back.
is.
I'm sorry. Had a caller coming in.
oh, that's okay. Yeah, mom's potato salad, and also her pea salad, which
Mm.
probably is one of the things that and I don't know if that was Grandma Ingalls or not. I don't know where, but I love that. Her pea salad was something I
Mhm.
really, really liked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the pea salad actually did come from Grandma Ingalls.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
Very
made
good.
corned beef and cabbage last weekend
Uh,
and loved it. Oh my gosh, I forgot how much I loved it.
Oh, wow. I
Mhm.
haven't had that in years.
Yeah, she was a good cook too.
yeah, she was a really good cook. Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a couple of the recipes that of hers that I put in there as well. And I don't know that I pointed out that they were actually grandma's, but those salmon croquettes were actually her recipe as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Graham.
As a kid, I remember those were really good. We loved those.
Hmm.
Grandma Ingalls was a great. Oh, Grandma Ingalls was Bessie, Aunt Jean. I mean,
Mm.
they just we had some really, really good, good cooks in the family.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's
Hmm.
really nice through all of this stuff that is going on right now and the postings and all that kind of stuff. A lot of the Keelers have now reached out to me as well and re-engaged, and I'm sure they're looking for the photos that I've been posting, and, which
Hmm.
is good. I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, brother, there's so many extended family that have seen and well bought your book, read it, but then have reached out and commented on some of your photos and even the videos that you're putting out are people love it. And I've got friends that don't even, I mean, that'll say, "Oh my gosh, I love that." These are coworkers, people that don't know, really that detail of my family that are enjoying the book and enjoying the photos, the history, the comments, the video. It's really a good thing. It's a
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's certainly been my pleasure to do it and something that I've enjoyed doing. And you're right. I mean, I'm getting the same kind of comments back from people that don't really know us or maybe know one of us somewhat. And people that have been part of our past are also commenting on it. And yeah, so it's been a good thing. I'm glad because that, I really wanted to make sure, like I've said, half a dozen times, we are, if you look at people and the normal family in America, 2 generations after you pass away, most of what you were during your life will have been forgotten, and your descendants won't recognize you in photos. And that to me was made very clear with our great grandfather Samuel Ingalls. I don't know a lot about him, but I've now been able to pick him out in several of the photos that I have, and his wife. Um, and I'm trying to find out more about him so that he does, his life is remembered.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome labor of love, brother. And
Yeah. Thanks.
so you're taking it on.
Yeah. Thanks. So two things. One, Sister Margo is coming down to visit next week. So
Yay.
she'll be here Wednesday, yes, along with
Yes.
Brother Brad and Brad's wife and Margo's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And let me see. I think somebody's having a birthday in 3 days.
Oh, yeah. No, no,
So,
I have decided that that's just not being recognized anymore.
oh,
I'm
well,
all
let me say
done.
this. You don't
All
look
done.
you don't look anywhere close to 70, but you wear it well.
Oh, God. Thanks, brother. No, I'm not the oldest in the family. I'm the middle child. Nobody in our family is 70 yet, so. No. Oh, I know. I'm not happy. I don't want to get another year older. I don't want to.
Better than the alternative.
That's true.
Yes.
And
You don't look it, so that's all that matters. Do you look it? Do you feel it? No. So go on.
Right.
So why bother? So don't even, just let the day go by.
Yeah, like we always do.
Yeah. Yes, here we are in March. I'm a March baby. I'm a Pisces. So we got Luke. We've got Clara. Clara Ingalls was born on March 7th also. And I feel
Yes.
such a connection with her, which is when you were born in the winter months, I feel like you're just a very unique, gifted, talented, inspiring person.
Mhm. Well, and another one, my first grandson will turn 1 on March 9th.
Oh.
They went to Wisconsin Dells to a water park there this past weekend. And my son Ben said, Abraham was just in awe. He's never seen so many people. He's never been in a grocery store. Yeah, I mean, just his own, household. So he was amazed at all the people in the world.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe he's going to be 1.
I know. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, can you
That's
imagine being born right
incredible.
of COVID and the world kind of shuts down?
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
because
my
we were
gosh.
coming up on a year when they closed it down.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. On our way out though.
Yep. See the light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah. So super excited to come down, brother. Very
Yep.
excited to come down and
Looking
kind of,
forward to it as well.
yeah, kind of breaking that COVID crap barrier, whatever you want to call it, and reaching out and trying to be back to normal with visiting and being able to travel and see family, and
Mhm.
really looking forward to it.
Yep, we are too. It's been way too long.
Yep. Sure wish I could join you guys, but
Yeah, that'd be
next
fun.
time.
We'd have people sleeping all over the house, but that's okay.
Well, we used to be used to it. I don't know about floors anymore, but we'd have people everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
Yes.
Part of the fun of it.
Those all the after parties at Margo's house with everybody not only sleeping on the floors, the couches, the chairs, outside in tents, in travel trailers, all that stuff.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, we counted one time, one year I had 17 people in the lower level. 17 in the lower level, not to mention every bedroom upstairs, every chair, every recliner. Yeah. Oh man, but so fun.
So much fun.
Great memories. And our nieces and nephews and kids and they all will have that.
Yep.
That's a great thing.
Yep.
Yep, I agree. That was fun, and we'll do it again.
Yep.
We will. We'll do it up in Reamer.
Yeah, there you go. Well, anything else that you'd like to talk about?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nope,
well, I
not
guess
that
we
I
can,
think of.
yeah, I'll wrap it up for this evening, and you both have a wonderful night. And we will talk soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Lee.
Yeah,
Love you.
thank you, Lee. Have a good night, brother. Good
Yep,
night,
you too.
sister.
Good
Love
night.
you.
Love
Yeah,
you.
love you both.
Bye.
Bye-bye.